I gave you 5 countries that I love, but here are 5 countries that I dislike and probably won't go back to. This is my personal experience. Other people have had better experiences in these countries, but personally, I just don't like them. Number 5 is Belgium. Now, Belgium is a very, very boring country. About the only thing that has come out of Belgium is French fries, and they haven't even got Belgium in their name. When I went to Belgium, about all I saw really was the effects of the war, the history of Belgium, and it is very interesting, but it just hasn't got that much culture. I mean, who thinks of Belgium when they want to travel to Europe? The people were a bit boring. I wasn't very impressed. The chocolate and beer was good, but that's about it. Belgium is known for its sport, for its football, and that's about the only thing I know about Belgium before coming to the country, other than its involvement in World War One and World War Two. So there really isn't much more to the country than sport and history. I didn't really see their culture because there's not much to show. But Belgium certainly isn't a country that I plan to go back to because there's really not much to see there. 4th on this list is Switzerland, and while Switzerland is beautiful when it comes to nature, and I am a big nature person myself, you do have to have more than just nature in a country. And all they have other than nature is a lot of people moving there for financial and tax reasons, as well as loads of banks. Life in Switzerland is very financial, it's very simple, and it is all about money. Even though you're not really meant to talk about it all at the time, it is all about banking, it is all about trade, and it's kind of this neutral hub of Europe for trading, for banking, for people that want to come and save their money. Yes, you have the Alps, yes, you have the skiing, and I would say that's about the best thing that Switzerland has to offer. But it's quite a boring country. Even the major cities are relatively boring. I don't know if that's just because I grew up in London, but I just don't see a lot in Switzerland. Good chocolate, good watches, but apart from that, not too much to offer. 3rd on this list is the UAE. Now, the UAE obviously holds a few major cities, but the main one that I've been to multiple times is Dubai, and I will not be going back. Dubai is for materialistic people that want to live in basically a huge shopping center. It was built in 50 years with slave labor. It has killed about 3,000 people in the process of building Dubai. It is a demonic city where demonic people reside, and you get loads of Forex traders, which isn't a real job. People that want to make quick, easy money without suffering the consequences go to Dubai. They also realize there's huge tax benefits in Dubai. And I do understand why some people move there, but the majority of people moving there are materialistic, not extremely intelligent, and they're just trying to save their cash. Also, it has no culture, literally. It's one of the only places I've been on this entire planet that has zero culture. There is no real essence to Dubai. You just get fake everything. Yes, you have expensive restaurants. Yes, if you have money, it's great. You can go and dine in some of the fanciest, coolest restaurants with sharks going over you and stuff like this. But in reality, there's no culture, there's no authenticity, which is what I search for when I'm traveling. 2nd on this list is a controversial one, but it is France. I cannot stand most of France. Don't get me wrong, I do like some French people. When I go traveling, I've met many French people before, and despite the rivalry between French and English, I do really like some French people, but not the Parisians. People from Paris tend to be some of the rudest people I have ever met in my life, and I don't even think they do it intentionally. They just walk around the place obnoxious and entitled. And I know from a British person that sounds quite funny, but in reality, the French can be quite arrogant and very ignorant when abroad. The south and the north are completely different places, but I don't think I'd be heading back to the north anytime soon. It's just basically like England with a lot less, to be honest with you. Yes, the south is beautiful. Yes, there are absolutely incredible areas, but there's something about the French attitude to life that I just don't really like. I much prefer an Italian way of life. They have great music, they have great food, great wine, but in all honesty, I prefer to import it to my house in London rather than going over to France, because when I'm in France, I'm always underwhelmed. In fact, there is literally a syndrome called Paris syndrome, which is created for primarily Asian tourists coming over to Paris, thinking it's the city of love and being completely underwhelmed. Now, number 1 on this list is a country that, out of all of these, I can definitely say I will not be going back to. It is Morocco. Morocco is just a place that I really despise. And it's not the culture. I actually think the culture is very, very interesting, very historic. They do have a beautiful culture and some incredible food as well. But the people in places like Marrakesh are just, a bit demonic. I was with 3 women, and I've seen so many people on my page also talk about this in previous videos where I've mentioned this exact thing, about how many men are staring at women. Sometimes you don't know where their hands are. They're making comments in their language. They're speaking to other dudes. they're just staring at these women, and it's just like they've never seen tourists before, even though places like Marrakesh are filled with tourists. It was a very uncomfortable environment, even as a big guy walking through the streets. They were weird. They were looking at everybody, they're staring at you, and I can tell it's not out of curiosity, it's out of some form of hatred or some kind of weird thoughts that are going through their head, especially with the women. Did not like it at all. Will never be going back to Morocco. And whilst I can understand a lot of people have had great experiences there, I also know not just me, but many other people despise that city, Marrakesh, and I won't be going back to Morocco for that reason. That's the top 5 list of the countries that I do not like and probably will never be going back to.